So that's what we're focusing on. So your questions, your comments around the online space, particularly when it comes to what is being advertised to you, how you're being targeted online, you can post them on 0861987000. And you can also tweet. It's at Azania _ and Power FM 987. And follow Preetesh. It's Preetesh.
That's it.
Mm.
I stole that from Apple.
I thought so.
But that's because somebody already stole my name. So it's like,
oh.
do I put something at
Do you
the
hate
end?
that?
Do I put something at the beginning? And I was like, I'll steal Apple stuff. There we go.
Preetesh. Awesome. So online advertising, it's grown. It has grown. I mean, there was a point where radio was scared. So many other platforms were scared because that seemed to be the buzzword, that all this advertising revenue is going to start going towards online advertising. So what is it? What's the picture looking like now?
So it's exactly as you said. Online advertising is now cannibalizing a lot of business away from platforms like radio and print, and you tend to find like certain industries, like the newspaper industry, is dying, and a lot of people actually say that this is a reason of the online platforms that exist as well. And despite us having to engage with all this online content that's actually taking revenue away from those traditional media forms that we used to consume, a lot of people don't understand it. They don't know how online ads work. They just see an ad and they don't realize it's a lot more complicated than a newspaper ad, or it's a lot more complicated than a television ad that's out there.
In what ways is it more complicated?
Well, a lot of the online advertising right now is specifically targeted at you as a consumer. So depending on the online content that you consume, an interesting thing is that if you're on your phone, if you're on a laptop, and if you're browsing, you're actually getting these little things called cookies. Some people call them fingerprints.
Yes.
But think of cookies like the number plate on your car, because anyone can hop into your car and drive it around. But that little number plate identifies the vehicle itself.
And where you've been.
And where you've been. And all of that, because there are cameras around that are seeing it. So these little cookies that are actually out there in the internet. So gone are the days. Think about a newspaper. A newspaper, if you want to engage with the advertising in a newspaper, you buy a newspaper, and then you might find that you have advertising for, antique furniture. I know you enjoy antiques, but you might not have an interest in antique furniture, but you still have to see the ad. You might see ads for computers and you don't want to buy another computer. These days, online advertising through the use of cookies has become so sophisticated that everything that you're looking at and everything that you're touching on this online world is actually creating this long record that's linked to you as an individual or to your browser. And then advertisers actually have access to this.
Oh my gosh, so when it pops up at the top, I've seen that. It's a notification often to tell you that this website, I don't know the terminology, but has a cookie.
Yes. It sounds so cool. Well,
I know, it sounds so innocuous. It sounds so benign.
It has a cookie, it has a candy.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's such cute terminology. Meanwhile, it's not benign. It's not innocuous. It is, in fact, very, it's not dangerous as such, but you have to be mindful. You have to look out for it.
You have to. I mean, in certain cases, it even can be dangerous and it can be malicious because you have adware that. I have a friend who cannot use their laptop. They need to basically reload the entire laptop because it's loaded with so much adware that if they open a website, any website, they get a pop-up for an ad. From a random ad. And there's tons of pop-ups. We've tried ad blocking software, stuff like that. So it can reach a point where it can hurt your online browsing experience as well. And that's where it's like overt and it's in your face. But then you have the other ones where you're going in and you're looking at certain sites and they go, oh look, Azza's been to CNN today. Let's keep a record of that to see that she loves news. Oh, she's been to the BBC, she's been to the SABC sites. She loves news. But then they notice that Azza is actually going out and looking at a few financial sites as well. And they start collecting these little bits of information.
Creating a profile.
And they're little pieces of a puzzle where after a period of time they go, we kind of understand this user and who she is. And they will know it's a she. That's how they can. They can even get to a point where they can pinpoint certain things and they go, that based on the browsing history, this must be a female user. They can get your race. They can try and guesstimate your age. They can guesstimate where you live and where you work from. Theoretically, think about it. If you're signing into certain platforms and you're using your laptop or your computer in this space, they can actually say that you're using your browser and you're looking at certain sites from Houghton, and since you're doing it now at 2:15 in the afternoon, theoretically you're not sitting at home, you're probably at your workspace. Yet if you're doing it at 8 p.m. at night, that place must be your home, so they can even theoretically find the area that you're in and target ads for businesses in that area.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is us on the one hand as the people consuming the ads, how they extract and how they put together what they know. And then the advertisers on the other hand, when they come to say a Google or an IOL.co.za or whoever the online platform is, and they say, this is my product, and I want to advertise. What happens in that exchange?
So actually it starts there's so many steps in this. There's a really nice graphic that I shared as well, which I'll try and see if I can put it up onto the Power SoapBox page, which I can promise you Facebook will be tracking your use. It's not a bad thing, but they will. And see that you love advertising.
Yes.
But we'll try and put it up there. It's such a complicated process and multi-level process. If you're a brand, you then go to your agency and you tell your agency what you want. And the agency then interacts with a number of different platforms. And if you have to simplify it, they might go to, let's say, Google. And they go to Google and say, look, I am selling orange juice. And I'm selling orange juice. And we know for this particular orange juice, I wouldn't try and target people who are probably about 25 to 55, because we know those are the people who are actually earning. They're not studying, they're not retired, they're earning, and they should have enough cash to buy this orange juice that we have out there as well.
Oh, so they come with the profile of their consumer.
They come with the profile of their consumer.